All right, I'm here with quote unquote the most racist man in America. Some black people coined that term when they came to make some videos about you. But yeah, thanks for meeting me, Tom Bowie.
They're looking for clicks, and I think Tyler was the first one to put that in the title of the video.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he got demonetized. There's something off about him. I think he was white.
Yeah, I guess Susan at the time, rest in peace, I guess. Yeah, probably didn't like that too much. But would you consider that that you're the most racist man on the planet, and why do you think you got that term?
I try and be the most pro-white man in the planet. That's my hope, at any rate, is to run a competition on that. The others, I couldn't give a damn about them. They can go back to eat one another. Babies are a renewable food source with them.
How did you come to believe in this sort of way? Like, was it from your parents? Were you raised this way? I know we were talking a little bit before this. You grew up in a majority white community, then you kind of saw the demographics change. What kind of, I guess, radicalized you to believe in this sort of way? Some people call it radical.
Even though I saw it, I didn't see it for a long time. I was as brainwashed as anybody. And then one day, in some things that weren't related to racial cognizance, I reached a point of crisis. That's how you break brainwashing often when you're deprogrammed. They bring you to a state of crisis. When I was through it, my brain rebooted. I could see my life different. I could recall moments when I had spouted the party line and my brain had been shut down for cognitive function and I was only a machine. In some cases, I could remember when the programming had been put in me. Right now, that's what every school is designed to do, to brainwash white children and to mentally abuse them, to tell them, you're all the same, but you white people are uniquely evil. That's child abuse and brainwashing, and it is one of the functions of genocide, in this case, white genocide.
What was your point of crisis?
I came to the Jewish question first. There was, at the place I was working, there was a lawyer. Goldman was his name. And he always seemed to be near controversy and taking both sides. I developed a skill in the military of reading people, and I could not get a read on him. And I became somewhat obsessed and kept trying to get a read on him. And then I did. No one will understand what evil I saw. The old saying is, stare not into the abyss, or it'll stare back into you. It'll not only stare back into you, it'll speak to you in your own voice. Evil doesn't begin to comprise. The only way I can describe what's in the Jewish character is, if they were in hell, all of humanity screaming in misery in front of them, it wouldn't be enough. It's only when they would suffer the same amount of pain, but their spirit's so broken they couldn't even scream.
Wow, that was deep. So
I'm anti by nature, because I'm going to oppose that type of evil. Yeah.
Okay, so you figured out the behavior of this lawyer, and then was there certain, I guess, rabbit holes you went down? Did this kind of just change your whole worldview? What did you start noticing?
I began self-examination and then find out what I had been told was a lie and what wasn't, what didn't hold water and what did. And then I got introduced to, well, my understanding was like a puddle of water. Then I got introduced to the internet, and I found out at the bottom of that puddle was an ocean.
What do you think is the most important thing for, I guess, the younger generation to know to kind of rewire their brains from the propaganda? I know you, I guess, I haven't heard anyone say it before you, but we talked about it earlier, Generation Zyklon. Do you have hope for Gen Z, or do you think...
They are incredible. As they're trying to instill the programming, they're beating it out of them. Diversity is beating the programming the hell out of them. That's impossible to enforce. And they're actively seeking the truth, which makes them a threat to the system. It's the first threat for all of my life, for the close to 30 years I've done this, around 30 years, we've been losing. We had all the facts on our side, but we weren't defeated by facts, we were defeated by memes. Now they're using memes, and they're not going under the spell. It's a complete reversal, and it's reversing faster and faster. I've already told people this. I remember White Lives Matter when it was 4 people. It's international now. I put the number of people around about my level of radicalization or greater in America at over 15 million, and that's a conservative estimate. Most of them aren't saying anything. You can't say anything in this police state. This is a state of paranoia. You know thousands and thousands of people who won't say it.
Yeah.
Me, I'm old. What are they going to do? They kill me? Me and the Grim Reapers on a first-name basis.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I guess from your interaction with the younger generation, obviously I'm part of the Gen Z. I'm not sure how many more of them you've met, but like, do you see there's just a bigger divide? Like, I know some people are radicalized on the right, but I feel like there's just as many radicalized on the left as well. Like, obviously, you might see people with blue hair. They don't know what pronouns they use, things like that.
Well, I use an analogy too on we don't even need a majority to win. One of the analogies I use is the lion tamer and his lions. He's got a cage of 6 lions. One lion figures out the lion tamer doesn't have any power. He's exercising power, but it's all an illusion. He gets one more lion. Those are the 2 lions that start thinking for themselves and training. They're pacing back and forth in the cage, getting ready. The lion tamer has 4 lions that'll still defend him. It ain't going to be enough against those 2.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, most revolutions throughout history was started by a small minority who got radicalized, and the masses, I guess, followed.
And Shuckleberg, the lion tamer, is going to have a bad day.
Let's say somebody is like kind of curious about these ideas. They feel like something's wrong. Where do you think is a good place to start for someone to kind of dive into, I guess, this subject?
First off, everything's a lie. When I was a kid in school, I didn't realize the lesson I was learning. I did book reports, got a bad grade on them because they weren't accurate. But I brought the books in, and my grade got upped. And it's only years later I realized they had changed history. This saying from 1984, which is a good read, is true. He who controls the present controls the past, meaning they rewrite it. He who controls the past controls the present. Right now, Generation Zyklon and all pro-whites in general are taking control of the past. They're finding out the true history. They're taking charge of the future. They hold only a tentative hold now on the present. They can hold the present, but they can't hold the future. We've taken it back by taking our past back.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting perspective and interesting way to look at it. Where do you, I guess, see the United States heading in these, I guess, in the upcoming decade? Like, what's going to happen?
It doesn't have decades. There's a clock on their head.
How soon do you think all this is going to happen?
That I'm not sure, but when I first started doing some internet activism, it was with Bob Whitaker. And we spread memes. We spread the terminology white genocide, repeated over and over. It took about 8.5 years before it to really take hold. Pro-white versus anti-white. And one of the things we wanted was to put a clock on their head. They had all the time in the world to slowly blend us out of existence. Then they started talking about a new era in 2050. Then they had to bring that down to Agenda 2030. Now they want to accelerate Agenda 2030. They don't have the time they thought they originally had. All of their models keep getting shorter time. And the more a clock is on their head, the more mistakes they're going to make. It's not going to last to Agenda 2030. It can't. The thing they're also doing is destroying their own power, because their power is white power. Jews first gained real power. They already controlled most of the press and the banks prior to being accepted as white people. Fellow white people. My fellow white people. Once they gained that, they were able to hide and exercise power in a way they never could before. Now that illusion is fading, and they don't have time. They always run out of time. They're great at gaining power, and then their hubris makes them lose it. They become exposed.
Yeah, I think something will happen in our lifetime. I'm not sure what it is, but it seems everyone I've talked to who's obviously older than me, has been in the space in a while, says things have been accelerating very fast recently. But how kind of has the scene shifted in your time? Obviously, trying to spread the message, trying to do activism. You said you've been doing it for like 30 years now.
Yeah.
It's wow.
Well, among the things I learned from Bob Whitaker was the meme. Prior to about 2011, that word didn't exist in the lexicon. I tried researching it on the internet and I found 2 obscure references to it. But everybody in politics and marketing knew it. That's what they used against us. Meme is different than reciting information. 1, to the average person, information is boring. 2, it takes a long time. A meme takes a couple seconds, and it's often not boring. Look at it as going from a musket loader to a machine gun. Better weapons of the mind. Now everybody has those weapons, and we can win that war.
Do you think that's the most efficient way, using memes
Yes.
to spread the message? Yeah.
Look at what they've done with We All Bleed Red. It means nothing, but it brainwashes people into thinking it means something. The very term anti-racist, or the very word racist, invented by first-generation communists to destroy America and its people. In the 1920s, no, that word wouldn't have existed. In the 1950s, it would have been thought as humorous. Fast forward today, billionaires tremble in their boots over that word. Look at words as magic spells that affect the mind. The average person being called a racist, you can invoke fear in them like casting a spell. If they're immune to it, the magic has failed. And if your magic has failed, your illusion has failed, you failed. Goodbye, Shlomo.
Yeah, it seems like the words don't affect people anymore. Like, I remember even a few years ago, like if someone got called racist, they would have to make a public apology, they'd get fired from their job. But now someone's called racist, they like almost embrace it. They're like, we're not giving the word any power, it doesn't mean anything. And they get kind of scared. They're like, oh, we actually don't have that much power to do anything about it.
Yeah, I watched them go through their iterations where they tried racist. When it got sort of weak, it went to white supremacist, then Nazi, then this. It's like the batteries weren't charging enough on them, and they were running out of juice. And it's useless anymore.
Yeah.
It's part of something called the Foucault effect. Part of that was noted about the Victorian era. When Queen Victoria imposed the prim and proper, where a table didn't even have legs, it had limbs, because legs was too erotic. The first generation accepted it being forced on them. The next generation embraced it with zeal. Generation after that, they sort of went along with it, but behind the scenes, all sorts of kinky stuff was going on. Then the next couple of generations outright ejected it, and it was gone. Well, now their age of being anti-white and enforcing their edicts by words is ending. It's being outright rejected.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. All right, I mean, you have obviously a lot of wisdom to share. What do you want to say, I guess, to the younger guys watching this interview? They want to make a difference, they want to do something, they want to make a change, they see something is wrong, they're kind of understanding what we're talking about here. What can they do? What do you want to tell them?
I've seen the potential in them. They haven't yet seen their own potential. It's hard to see what you are. They think they're just one person, but they're greater than they can imagine. They were born into an age where the propaganda was hitting them literally before they drew their first breath. They were being demonized, they were being denied an opportunity, and yet they're starting to fight back. It would be impossible for any other creature on this planet to overcome those odds and start to resist. It would just lay down and die. That's what they need to understand, is how powerful they are. For them, even natural law will bend. They'll find a way to bend it. Natural laws, well, every person on this planet's seen the birds fly. Who did it? For over 1,000 years they worked at it. And they'll work at it till the end of time, until they accomplish it. A fellow I much respect said that we would have to rule the world because he didn't think there was any place else for us to go. I think he underestimates us. If there's no other habitable planet, white people will build one. Look at Germany. It went from a crap hole, and they had only just begun to tap into their potential. You let white people be white people and encourage them to be that, they'll build their own planets. It's not thinking outside of the box. For white people, there is no box. You leave blacks on an island, come back 1,000 years later, neither they nor the ants will have achieved anything other than what you left them with. You put white people on an island, and before the 1,000 years is up, their airplanes will land, and they'll visit you.
Powerful words. Thank you for the conversation. That was a very
Thank you,
awesome.
Hermes.
Appreciate it.